the planning.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Wedding Wednesday. Oh, good. I had my volume up way too high. I was like,
especially when you have your earphone in.
Yes. How are you?
Good. You know, it's hump day, getting through the week.
Yes. I love your vibe. You're giving me like fall plum colors or something.
Ooh. Maybe it's the glasses too. I feel like glasses always give that like back to school look. And I normally have my contacts in, but.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why too.
Yeah.
I thought about getting fashion glasses and I'm like, can I pull this off? How long have you had glasses?
I've been wearing glasses since I was like 8 or 9. I was really little. I at that time only really needed them like in school to see like the school board or, you know, the board in school. And I want to say it was like early college where I started wearing contacts because I kind of felt like I needed them all day. And I kind of just get sick of wearing my glasses all day. I sometimes get sick of wearing my contacts all day too. I kind of go back and forth. So it kind of just depends on my mood.
I remember, well, I want to bring our guest on and talk about this more because I'm actually having like flashbacks from like high school and middle school when we'll talk more about contact lenses and stuff. But if you are a first-time viewer, we meet here every Wednesday, same time. It's 5 p.m. Pacific. So Angela is in Las Vegas Pacific time. I am in Central time in Chicago. We can talk more about that too, of the weather and how crazy the world is right now. But I'd love to join or have join us. Loreen, I'm like nervous because I'm excited. I'm like she sent me a picture of like Saturday Night Live, like, woo! Anyways, without further ado, I'm blushing even. I'd love to introduce Loreen from Reenie Rose. Yes, hi. You're making me blush. Oh my God. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's so nice to be here. Be with people.
This is your first time, right?
Wow.
Welcome.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm blushing. I blush very easily. In high school, they gave me a hard time. My classmates would call me Tomato from across the room.
Oh, stop.
But the kicker is I was not blushing when they called me Tomato, and then they would just be like, Tomato, in like a really high voice, and then I would blush.
Oh,
like,
kind of cute, though.
That is cute.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys. No, but I was going to say
blush, right? So, like.
Oh, I don't even wear it because I blush. Like, blush myself.
You don't need it. Like, you don't need it. Like, I blush always. Like, I'm so pale. I just look like a piece of paper half the time.
Which is weird because you live in Vegas.
Right?
I don't think
like weird, like you think it would be more tan. I mean, it's still cold here. Like I don't want to like sit out in like 40-degree weather in my backyard when it's windy.
Yeah.
Even though it's not snowing, it's still like not like normal 100-degree summer.
I don't blame you.
Well, we are going to definitely get more into, I want to hear, Loreen, about like you and your background as an artist.
Yeah.
I always refer to you as an artist, but you also could be considered a calligrapher or I don't know, so many like, labels. No, but I hate to label you, but like I would say like designer, stationery design. I don't know.
I think
like you just do so much.
Artist is really good for like the overall big picture of things, right?
Okay.
Like that's kind of what I think when you're a business owner and you do stuff, especially as an artist, like I finally come to grips. I am an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
That's the one that I, no matter what I change up or pivot or whatever, I'm still an artist through and through. So, yeah.
Oh, pivoting. We can talk more about that too.
Keyword.
I hate that word. Still, it's important though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
well, I've known you I've been in Chicago 7 years, and I've known you probably just as long, not closely, till COVID hit, and we can talk about that later too. Yeah. But I first heard about you because you were actually a coordinator with another company here in Chicago, a wedding coordinator, which brings a lot of value to you in general of working with clients and stuff. But I think I've seen most of your work first as like signage and calligraphy. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us more about, like, not to be cheesy, but like your journey
sure.
As an artist, but then also how it like kind of bled into weddings?
Exactly. Yeah, sure. Lots of red roses being delivered to me. No. Think about when you say the word journey, I'm like,
sounds romantic.
Yeah.
Not at all. So oh gosh, I've been in the wedding industry for 10 plus years now. And it really all started, I was out of college. I was an art major in college for illustration. And I thought I was going to, be an artist, in galleries and stuff, and decided to go work for a gallery. Managed it for 2 years and was like, this is not for me.
Wait, in Chicago?
In Chicago. Yeah. Actually, like a couple blocks from where I live. So not too far. And
why did you feel that way, if you don't mind me asking?
Cutthroat.
Really?
Cutthroat in the art industry. Yes. So, yeah. And I just, the hustle of it, it was hard. It was fun. I did it to a certain extent. Like, it was, I got to travel. I went, we did art fairs everywhere. I did an art fair in Basel, Switzerland. Got to know the art market a little bit, but it's hard. I mean, artists, they, you think you're going to be in a gallery and selling, that's how you're selling your artwork. And oh gosh, I remember so many, and this is what I did too to get the job, was we literally walk into the art gallery with my slides in one hand, because that's what we used, was slides back in the day.
And that's like your portfolio, like your stuff.
My portfolio slides, yeah. And my resume. And I was like, hi, do you need work or do you need work? And she's like, we need resume work. And she looked at my resume and I got the job, soon after. But like looking at slides and artwork that way just wasn't, it's hard. It's hard. But I learned business from working in the gallery, which is great. We used QuickBooks. So I learned QuickBooks. I did all the marketing for them. The systems, like inputting artwork and things like that. So it was a great experience. But while I was working there, I had a family friend reach out to me. She was known her for years, and my neighbors and my parents. And she's like, I want to give my niece a gift for her wedding, and I want to give her a painting of yours. And I'm like, great. What painting? She's like, I want you to paint. I know, right? Yeah. And I'm like, what painting? She's like, no, I want you to paint something for her. I'm like, what do you want me to paint? She's like, I don't know. So we're like brainstorming these things. I'm like, well, why don't I paint her bouquet? That'd be pretty, like flowers. I can do that. So I remember I went to the church and like snagged the bouquet from the bride real quick and went out on the sidewalk and like took pictures with my digital camera and in the sunshine. And, I didn't know what the heck I was doing because it's the first time I've ever done this. And did this painting of the bride's bouquet. And I was like, oh, this turned out kind of good.
Wow. You sent some pictures to us. Are the one that you're talking about, is it any of the photos you shared with us?
No, because it's a very old
okay. Okay.
It's the first one I did.
I'm gonna show, like, I don't know if this is too soon.
Yeah, no.
But so
this was
these are paintings. I have to stress these.
Oh my gosh, those are so detailed. I love it.
Yes. Holy shit. So you're obviously still doing that. Like, when were these 3 from?
So that one is
kind of recent.
That one's not recent. That's from ages ago. But the peachy one is, within the past 3 years or so, I think.
Wow,
so
beautiful.
Cool. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I did some research, and nobody was really painting with the thought in mind of like bridal bouquet preservation, bouquets. And done in that way. Like, I didn't want them to be cheesy. I didn't want it to be like this bouquet in a vase. I wanted to be a little abstract as far as like, well, is this a bouquet or is this just flowers? And so I did the research and there wasn't really anyone doing it. So I started this business of painting bridal bouquets and just networked the heck out of myself in this wedding industry. I went to every event and just passed out those business cards. I painted on site at things. And from that, I started assisting for weddings. That's kind of how I got into the planning part of it. Was I was, looking for a typical artist, looking for work all the time.
Yes, yes, I get it.
Yeah. So I was just, if you need assistance, I can assist you. And I started working for a company for a bit. And oddly, the woman that owns the company, she approached me about doing a piece of signage for her son for his birthday. It was back when all the signs, oddly enough, his birthday, I think was today or yesterday. So it'd be
no way.
Yeah.
Aww.
It was like when those chalkboards were really popular, like, I'm one, I like food. And
wait, the chalkboard that you lay on the ground with the child next to it and you do like a shot above?
Just the information, like the basic information.
Okay.
Like I'm, Johnny, I'm one. I like this. I do that. And so she asked if I could do it. And I didn't even do it in chalk, which is kind of funny. I did like colored pencil or something and tried it out and copied fonts and did this whole board. And she was great. Posted to Instagram. Got a message from another planner. Hey, my kid's having a birthday. Can you do this signage? Did that. And it snowballed. And that's how I started the signage part. Like I literally started my business as a painting business, like doing these fine art pieces, and it developed into signage without me even knowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was great.
That's so unique.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen, I'm sure, Loreen, you have just from like what you've talked about, but Angela, have you seen these preservation companies that exist? Like you send your bouquet in and it like, I don't know, they like spray it or something.
Yeah.
But this is a better way to do that.
The like leaves and petals
like and or
yeah. I'm not like in detail, but like I've seen them before, I guess. Like, but I never knew too much about them or anything.
Yeah.
This is like much better.
My marketing tools were like, you could have this painting or you could have a dead bouquet. And I literally have a picture of like dried up flowers. What do you
basically
want?
Yeah, I mean, it's like negative energy. They say like it's not good to have dead energy in your house. Like dead flowers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally had to tell clients
I used to
throw it away. I know.
Did you ever save preserved flowers? I did when I was a child.
I mean, that's a funny thing though. I like as a kid, I'd press flowers and make stuff out of dried flowers. Oh yeah.
Little arts and crafts things, like make little
completely
greeting cards for Mother's Day, flowers and stuff like that. Yeah, I've done that before.
Totally.
Oh, in the wax, right?
I've never done that.
Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my gosh. If there's anyone watching and you know what I'm talking about, please leave a comment because I thought this was like a thing that everyone did. I grew up in Ohio also. So, D. James, hi. He lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
DJ. Yeah. Hello. So like we would, even with leaves too, we would go around just the area of the school or whatever, or house, and like pick up dead leaves or dead flowers and press them, and we would iron them in wax.
Oh, with the crayons.
Paper?
Wax paper. Yes.
Yes. That's another thing too.
You used to iron them in wax paper to like flatten them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember that a little bit.
But it would like melt the paper together.
Yeah.
And like make a bookmark or something.
I feel like that's all you could ever do is make a bookmark. That's it. Like, how many bookmarks do we need?
Yeah. Oh my God. So many tangents to go off of. Do you have any bookmarks in your house right now?
Yes.
I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
Should we grab our bookmarks?
Really?
I'm gonna grab mine.
Is yours really cool? I might be able to find it in the pen and let me go look real quick.
Okay.
Don't mind my sweatpants that you can probably see.
I just turned my screen and it is my workout board. Like I have this big
Saw that.
I have this big thing and it's like twist, crunch, side planks. And so when I kicked it, everyone in the world can now see my workout desires.
Good for you. Oh, that's a cute one.
It's stamped out.
Super cute.
Isn't that cute?
So it's
What
funny.
do you have?
Did you guys see my roommate's 4-year-old? She just opened the door.
No.
Yeah.
Cute.
This is my bookmark. It's actually from Portugal. It's made out of.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Wow.
cute.
Yeah, my mom got it for me when she was there.
So
But-
I just found this one recently, and I remember buying this at like what's the book, like when the book center would come to school.
Book fair?
The book fair.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I remember getting this bookmark at the book fair.
Wow. Cool.
Wow.
And I just came across it recently. And I was like, oh,
Aw, memories, right?
Very psychedelic.
right.
like the
Thanks
one
for
that
playing
has
along with
charms.
me.
The ones with like the charms or like the beads at the end.
Yeah,
I always
so it
like
has
those
a little star.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's extra. That is like the most extra bookmark I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is weird because you're not like an extra kind of gal, in my opinion. Which is a compliment.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Usually it's pieces of paper that are bookmarks, that just random nonsense receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about the paintings of the flower bouquets, and then it became signage.
Mhm.
And then lately, I feel like I've seen you do a lot of like escort card displays and name cards and welcome signs and stuff. When did that transition from like the kids things go to back to the weddings?
I think, when it was wedding planners that were picking up like the work of me doing just things first for their kids, and then they're like, oh, can you do this? I mean, it's always a lot of my work is just organically developed, and it's always been like, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And whether I know how to do it or not, I do it. I figure it out. So
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I've been doing all the wedding signage, seating charts, welcome signs, escort cards, all that kind of stuff for probably 6 years now, 5 or 6 years. That's been happening more regularly. Yeah. And
I'm trying to see. Oh, here. Is this? When was this from? Oh, this is cool.
no, that's more recent. 2019.
I love that.
Tell
Yeah.
us about this. What's like the words around it?
So if I can remember, I think it's their vows.
Aw.
No, I lied. It's not their vows. It was a gift for the bride from her bridesmaids. And so I think it has all their names in it or something. I'm totally pulling this out. I've got to talk about it to remember. All of the bridesmaids had to send me words that described the bride.
Oh, that's cute.
So they're all words that describe the bride, and in kind of obviously in a very abstract font, and then just kind of receding in. So she knew them, they knew them, but if you're looking at it, it just looks kind of like a starburst. But it was like a wedding gift from some bridesmaids, which I love when that happens.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So unique.
Yeah, like a group gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's I like the idea of the vow though. The vows.
Right. I did recently, last year, vow books. Those have become more popular, especially like in these smaller intimate weddings. I feel like, so I wrote the vows in a very pretty calligraphy font for the couple to each have in his and hers. And they're vows. So.
Oh, and they use it wedding day, like on the wedding day, they'll read from it, or is it more of like a memento? Do you think?
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah.
If they did, it's probably more a memento, because I don't know it's easy to read, but I feel like on the wedding day, they're all nervous and they just want to typed out big font so they can see it. And yeah.
Oh, D James, he says, speaking of weddings, I'm booked to DJ 3 weddings in the next 40 days.
Wow.
Whoa, that's good.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, in Vegas, every market's different. That's
Yeah.
my disclaimer. It's cold here in Chicago. It is so cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. What is
And
the
then
current
Angela,
temperature?
what is it, like the 60s there, I guess?
50s, 60s, depending on the day. It's like our coldest month, I think, is usually January. So it's like it starts to get a little bit warmer in February and then a little bit warmer in March. But it is always windy in the springtime. So it's kind of like, even on days where it's like, oh, it's 70s or whatever, it's like so windy sometimes that you still can't even enjoy it outside.
Yeah.
We're getting a heat wave right now. It's 19.
It's like,
oh, yeah, for you guys, that is a heat wave for the time of year, huh?
Yeah.
I know. It's so
in
cold.
Texas, have you guys been following, not to go off a tangent, but like the Texas stuff is kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, they're just not prepared for that at all. I feel like us hardy Midwesterners, like, 2 feet of snow.
Yeah. Well, like
Right.
a couple of years ago, it snowed like, I want to say it was 17 inches or so. And like, I felt like the whole world stopped here because like no one knows how to drive. Like I've never driven in the snow personally. I'm from California, live here in Vegas. Now, most of my friends are the same way. You know, there are a lot of people from the Midwest and they're, you know, like, I don't know why everyone's freaking out, but it's like, no one's used to this. Like no one has to shovel snow ever. Like we don't even know how to. Like it's just a totally
It's tiring.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right?
You're like sore. You don't realize the amount of muscles you're using when you shovel. So like the next day you're just sore. You're like, these are muscles I'm so not used to using.
I thought about volunteering to help shovel, and then I was like, I can't mess up my shoulders. And if I need to write or paint or do some work and have like shoulder problems, that's not gonna be good. So
yeah.
Do you have like insurance on your body more than the average person? Like, have you ever heard? I have a girlfriend who hand models, and she has like insurance.
You really have a hand model friend?
Yeah,
like Loreen.
She lives in LA.
Oh my gosh, that's so.
She had like Maya Rudolph was like her she was the stand-in hands for something like an Apple ad for Maya Rudolph a while ago.
Oh my God.
It's like a thing. It's like a stand-in close-up of people's hands.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I do not have anything of the sort. My arms get chopped off tomorrow. I just have to find something else to do.
Just do like you can put the paintbrush in your mouth. I've seen people do that.
Yeah, like
right with your feet or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If there's a will, there's a way.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, this is always a question. I feel like every episode, but when COVID hit, how did that affect you as a person, but also just the flow of work that you had coming in? Like, what did that? It's been almost a year, but how has this past year been?
Well, as you know, I was planning a move in April to Amsterdam. That's my lovely background there. So that did not happen, but it was very kind of serendipitous how things happen in life, right? With all this, I had a studio space that I got rid of and sold all of my rentals and everything that I was using for my business.
That was before COVID, though, just in anticipation of the move,
like
right?
Literally the last week of February that happened.
That worked out.
Completely. I mean, because I don't know what I would have done with everything. I don't think people would have been buying anything. It worked out very well. So I kind of liquidated a bunch of my materials. And then, COVID hit. And weirdly, people started wanting to decorate their homes and fix up spaces. And I got an awesome mural job. And I started doing artwork.
Oh, is that this? Here. Hold up. Is this it?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Whoa.
I love that.
Thank you.
Wow.
What was that for again?
I forget. An acupuncture office. Yeah.
So cool.
Zen feeling. I guess that's fitting, right?
Yes. Willow and Elm. Go visit them. They're amazing.
Do they have like an at Willow and Elm?
I think so.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Willow and Elm. They're up in Logan Square area. Yeah. So initially I started started making stuff like signage for, let's said like everything will be okay. I did all these watercolors and I was posting those, and people were buying those things off of me because everyone just needed something. And then, started getting mural jobs. I had a client that I did a bouquet painting for probably 4 years ago, and she reached out and wanted a couple more paintings. So I literally got back to my roots of how my business started. I did 2 bouquet paintings again.
Whoops, that's not a bouquet. Sorry. I saw all white and I was like, it's a bouquet.
Yeah, but I was doing.
We used to have a show producer. Where's Sheridan? I don't know. Sheridan, we miss you. If you hear us.
So funny. But it was amazing that everything came full circle. Like how my business started with the bouquet paintings is literally what COVID brought me back to. So I started making art again, and I've been so lucky with all the projects I've gotten, and it's all been referral based. So my support system, oh my gosh, the support system's amazing. Like just the people you know, and they want to help you out. And so I've been doing some really good creative stuff. It's been quite fun. I feel really bad saying that because not everybody's having fun, but
it's inspirational to hear that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what's come my way. And now weddings are starting to trickle in a little bit here and there, but it's not business as usual, right? So we're only having 50 people, but we want to do something different and creative. And yes.
Holy cow. This is not 50 people. This is what, like 200? Oh my God. That was in 2017, it looks like.
Yes.
That's cool though.
I think it's a piece of acrylic that was 6 by 8 feet.
Oh my gosh. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
Enormous. Yeah.
So
pretty.
Can I say it's a little easier right now with 50 people, or is it? I don't know.
You know what? So I just got an inquiry for a 50-person wedding, but she wants to do a seating chart that is more like an aerial view of the tables with the individuals at it, and put people, where they're going to be sitting. But she wants there to be a background, and it's taking place in Arizona, so Arizona mountains being painted.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
It's an art piece. So I feel like a lot of the projects that are now going to be developing with weddings are more artfully and thoughtfully done, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, you're like, I support that. Okay, so now I feel like a jerk showing this because I thought it was pretty, but it is pretty. It's like classic,
very pretty, yeah.
Calligraphy. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Thanks.
It's all pretty.
In the COVID times, I love that. This is the kind of stuff where
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, show it. I love it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff where like people might go a little bit more with their budget and want an art piece now. They're switching their numbers around for their events and might have more to put into something thoughtful. And this kind of stuff I love, where let's look at your invitation.
That paint?
That's paint. Yeah. So it's on a wood stained board, and then their invitation had those floral pieces on it. So I literally took from their invitation and put it onto a welcome board.
I love those colors.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
very cool.
That way. Yeah. Yeah.
There is a particular project that you recently did that is kind of on trend right now, unrelated to weddings, I wanted to showcase. So can you tell us about this piece? Because this is a big deal it's a big deal that you're doing this.
So cute. I love it.
Yeah. So in Chicago, we have the Van Gogh immersive experience going on right now at the old Germania place. And I know the caterer that is doing the cafe, the Grab and Go cafe. And
Who is it?
Paramount.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've worked with Jody for several years. And this is, again, like, it's amazing who you know and just how everyone is so supportive. And so Jody's the owner of Paramount. She put me in touch with the people putting this on. And I got the signage for the cafe to do that.
So cool.
Yeah. So
it's been on the news lately. That's why I wanted you to talk about it, because it's been like, it's a new pop-up. Yeah. Or they extended the pop. I got like an email or Facebook thing saying it's extended. Right.
Yeah. They might even do it longer.
I love pop-ups.
Yeah. And it's, so I got to finally experience it because I had to go there to fix a menu item or something. And so I popped into it to check it out, and it's
pun intended.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're so funny, Loreen. Oh my God. I popped into the pop-up shop.
Oh Lord. I highly recommend going though. It's a cultural experience, and it's a public experience, and it's safe. It felt like really good. They've got all these 6-foot circles on the floor to stand in, and
like moons and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice, you know, to just be like, go there, sit for a bit, listen to some good music, and watch some pretty artwork. And it's creatively done too. I mean, it's a video project, so it's a video art piece too, which it's not just like the paintings floating around. Like they actually like deconstruct the paintings. It's weird.
Oh wow,
that's really cool.
So like, you know, if you know Starry Night, which is one of those most classic pieces, there's a bridge and there's the water. Well, they've separated the piece to where the water's moving, but the rest of it's still. So it's kind of cool how they can do that. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So if someone was to want to contact you for any type of item or piece, like art piece, what's the best, like, can you explain like what the process looks like, and then how you sort out the pricing? Because I'm sure everyone's like, what does this cost? Like, what's your answer to them?
I very much pride myself on being custom, which I know that always reads dollar signs for people, but for me, it's more, well, what do you need? I'm not going to give you something that you don't need or want, or it's not going to be useful to you. So let's talk through what you really need. So even like when it comes to seating charts, you know, people will want price, like, how much is a seating chart? Well, wait. How many people are you going to have? So
how many names am I writing? Literally.
And how much work am I doing is key. So if it's 50 people, but are you doing?
Yay! It was getting dark in there.
Did the sun finally set there? That's so funny. So yeah, if you have 50 people, do you want me to write out 50 names, or are you going to couple the people up? Like, for, you know, if there's a Mr. and Mrs., or if, you know, people are dating, or couples, you know, if you want to put them in couples, well, I'm not writing 50 names then. So we're cutting that down. So I asked for like really specific things, and like, let me see your invitation, because I can maybe bring the design into it. It doesn't just have to be a seating chart.
Right. Like, am I working off of something, or am I creating the design for you?
Yes. Yeah. So I always like to gather as much as I can from somebody. Like, let me know all the information first, and then we talk through like, okay, this is what I think, how long this is going to take me. Here's some pricing. And it's always scalable. So fine, if you don't want to spend that much, we take off the illustrations, we take off this, or knock your guest list, you know, let's do Mr. and Mrs. instead of individually listed. The same goes with art projects too. You know, do you want me to paint an entire wall, or do you just want some little pieces? You know, there's no sense in charging you to paint a whole entire wall when I'm only doing things that might look like decals or something instead. So yeah. I'm very flexible with that. And I don't ever want it to be very cut and dry as far as like, oh, it's templated or anything like that. I like to really customize things for people.
And we get that a lot for our DJ packages and wedding coordinated packages. And it's like, I've read so many things when it comes to wedding sales of like, it's like, don't give out package or like, don't give out prices until you have a conversation. Or then there's the whole other opposite view of like, don't leave them hanging, not knowing what they're working with. And, you know, who knows, but it is customizable, because if someone asks about a DJ, are we doing music for your ceremony? Are we doing it for cocktail hour? Are we doing it just for the reception? A lot of people don't think they have the option to do live music anywhere. Some people are like, I just want to DJ for everything.
Yeah.
And not saying one is better than the other, but I personally think it's cool when you have live music and a DJ.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, why not do both?
Right.
And it doesn't mean that it's going to be more expensive to do both. Yeah. Usually it is. But,
But yeah, it definitely matters. The time. It's all time too, right?
Yeah. How much time you're spending. How much time do you try to have? I know it will, your answer will be depending on the project, but like, when should people start contacting you with, like, okay, what am I trying to say? You're not going to have the final guest list until about a month out. I understand that.
Right.
With like the table numbers and whatnot. But they can still have this consultation with you, right? And talk about the design, and then you're just on standby to write everything? Or how much time do you usually need to do an estimate?
Nowadays, it's a little different than it used to be.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, when weddings were more regular, I'd say, God, book me 6 months in advance. Now I'm like, book me tomorrow and I probably could do it. I've got time, because a lot of my stuff is, correspondence and maybe doing sketches and things like that. So right now, I would say project 2 months out is really good right now. Let's start talking about it at least. It's worth talking about and then getting the ball rolling. I know guest list is definitely, that's something that nobody has. It's going to be so, you have to be so flexible these days with guest list. So let's talk about plan A. I mean, we know this planning world. Let's have a plan A, but let's also have a plan B and maybe even a plan C just in case. And the nice thing about working with me, it's that I'm flexible, like, okay, so if we're going to alter the design of this and take off half of your guest list, we're back down to 10 people for your wedding. Awesome. We can alter this. Luckily with COVID, I only had one wedding on my plate at the time.
That was my next question. If you had any art done and then you couldn't use it because like they canceled or something.
No, so there was just one client that she was scheduled, I think it was a March wedding. So that got rescheduled and they rescheduled it for this March. And then now it's in November. So,
but you hadn't, were there any items that you physically made that like had to be thrown away or something?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
that's good.
No, because at the time, a lot of my work was on rentals too. So, and that's the thing with seating charts even, I don't usually work on the project until the week of the wedding. Just in case.
Ooh, that's so stressful. Yeah, I know, it makes sense.
Yeah. But it's part of the scheduling. There are projects that don't take me, they take me hours that may be broken up into a couple days just so my arm doesn't fall off. But it's that's doable.
Smart though, because it's like, so-and-so at table 7 can't come because they're sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at that point, you probably just leave them on the chart. If you
That's it. That's it. I
who cares?
That all the time. Like it's one thing if you're adding people, that's a different story. But if you're taking people away, nobody's going to notice because guess what? That guest isn't there, so they don't care.
You're not going to like draw a line through them or something.
It's not like they're going up to see like our name is there and we're really not here. Like no.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
That's funny. So what are like some creative everything's creative, but sorry, I'm like, what creative things have you done? Everything. But in terms of like micro weddings and COVID, have you had to be cheeky, so to say, with any verbiage that people have wanted written, or has it been pretty still classic?
And again, granted, like the wedding inquiries for me, I'm usually very low on the totem pole of like bookings. So book your DJ now, book your florist now, book, catering now, book your wedding signage and details like 2 months before. So with everything getting pushed and pushed and pushed, like the things that I'm booked for right now is April weddings. I don't have anything, there's nothing else.
There's nothing further out?
No, because it's really,
I think people are kind of like waiting to
yes, and
until like most people are vaccinated and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's totally respectable. I'm game for that. Like with weddings, I think I have a shorter lead time. So, but like I said, the things that I am getting booked for are really creative. Like I think they're looking to stretch, have more memorable pieces. I had a client that reached out for a logo design for their wedding, to put on like stickers for their cake boxes and napkins and things, because people I think will, we only have to buy 50 of these for our 50-person wedding, so let's get acrylic stirrers for drinks, let's get napkins, let's get these little things that normally they would just they'd love to have, but it all adds up.
Of course, yeah.
But when your guest count is 200, that's one thing, but if it's 50, why not order a few extra fun things? So I think that's where it's going to shift a little bit.
Has there been anything that, two-part question, and sorry, I have all these random questions, but
I love it.
Has there been anything that you just simply couldn't do because of XYZ reason, where you're like, I'm sorry, I can't use like llama hair to make whatever? And that's my first question. We'll start there. Like, is there anything where you just like, as much as talented as I am, I just am not able to accomplish this thing? Or has it all been manageable?
That's hard. That's really hard.
Like, watch the new trending thing, like llama hair, like
I'm gonna get
like where it's like.
I think PETA would be like, having a field day over that.
Right? Oh my God! Right? Yes, I'm eating llama hair. Like,
I don't know who PETA is. PETA. Oh, PETA. Oh,
yes. I can't think of anything. I feel like I typically make things work. There might have been something where it was like, I'm gonna have to pull in scaffolding for this, or I can't, or sometimes it's usually a timing thing. Like, we have these mirrors in a venue and we want you to put our guest list on them. We're gonna have 200 people, but you can only get in the day of the wedding. And I'm like, that's not gonna be possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do that. So I'm not going to no.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds stressful and not fun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So that might be one of the things where it's just like, the time frame is this, or next day turnaround. Can you calligraphy envelopes for our wedding this weekend? And I'm like, no, that doesn't, I'm not a machine. I'm not a machine.
Okay, so like, and I'm always like fishing for gossip and like good stories. That's why I'm like, but you're not giving me anything, which is fine. But like, has like anything like majorly bad happened, and then you had to like find a solution, like a mirror shattered, and you like anything like crazy like that?
Okay, so I have I have to tell you, I have a really bad memory, but I know that
you're like, I've blocked it out.
Yeah, right. And that's what I've done. I remember doing an aisle runner. So I hand painted an aisle runner, and I have an island in my kitchen that is big enough where I could put the aisle runner down and paint, sit up on top of my counter and paint it. And I had the thing of paint out. You know where this might be going.
Yeah.
And
this is the good stuff. This is what I want, though.
I kept telling myself,
so evil.
Don't put the paint on this aisle runner. Don't put the paint on it. Take it off. Hold it, or don't do something else. Yes. And I knocked over the paint, and I had a puddle of this gold paint on this cream aisle runner, and was literally like scraping paint, like scooping, like spatula-ing.
Spatula-ing. It's a thing.
It's a word.
It is now.
Off of this runner, and then like dumping gobs of water on it to like keep it moist.
So was it cloth?
It was, it was like a cheap cloth, but it was cloth. So, and just putting water on it so it wouldn't dry up. And I used spray, like I got it out. Okay.
I was thinking you'd have to like paint over it or something.
No. I just worked the crap out of that I don't remember what, like, I think I used like OxyClean, like a whole thing of OxyClean or something.
Is this like acrylic paint? Or okay.
Yeah. So it dries faster, which is why I was just like putting water and towels on it and everything to keep it moist so that I can work it out of the cloth. So
I've gotten acrylic paint on my clothes before, and I actually, like, I hate to admit this, have a pair of like sweatpants that I wore in college that when I was like doing painting letters for my sorority, I got acrylic paint on them, and I try to wash it out right away, and it's been there for like 10 years almost.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it just never comes out.
It dries quick and it gets into the grains of the cloth.
And oil's bad too, right? Like oil has the oil in it, so it's like absorbed.
And and you have to use like paint thinner to get it out. And so you get pasty.
Oh my God, I have a story for you. You will appreciate this. This pertains to what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of the worst experiences I've had as a wedding planner. Usually it's pretty good. Like 99% of, knock on wood, my 7 years in the business. It's great. Okay. So Loreen, do you know the Columbus Park Refectory here in Chicago?
I've not worked there, but I've heard of it. Yes.
Okay. It is a property that is managed by the city of Chicago. And because of that, it makes it a little tougher.
Park District property? Park District property?
Yes, Park District. So it's a little, like, their regulations are a little strict because it's overseen by the city.
Yeah.
This is so crazy. So, like, I'm not, like, as creative as you are, Loreen. I'm not an artist. But I do like making things more pretty.
Yeah.
As an event planner.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, doing this site visit for a wedding I had. This is when I was with Storybook still. And so this is probably, I've been with Mode 3.5 years. And it was one of my very last weddings with Storybook. And it was beautiful. Like, I love the venue because you can have the wedding outside and then you move inside for dinner. It's like in the woods. It's like, has a lot of history. And you go into this bathroom, and I say this out of respect because I'm not saying you shouldn't have your wedding there. You should absolutely have your wedding there. But the one thing that I didn't really love about the venue is the bathroom's kind of like, meh. It's like a Park District bathroom. It's not like, well, keep in mind,
it's like a public bathroom.
It's like a public bathroom. Keep in mind, this is like 4 years ago. I haven't been there since because of the story. I'm like traumatized. So beautiful pictures. If you are looking for a venue here in Chicago, if you're a couple watching, check it out. So I do the site visit. I see the bathroom, and I'm like, it's fine. They have this, like, it's spacious. The bathroom itself is great. They have this, like, awkward, in my opinion, like, awkward little lobby entryway for the bathroom itself. So you, like, go in, and there was, like, a chair, and there was this mirror. And the mirror was on, like, an arm off of the wall. So it's, like, mounted to the wall, and then there's this arm, and then there's the mirror. And it was just, like, this rectangular plain square. And there was nothing happening in the room. The bride didn't want to have flowers in there. I'm just like, we have to do something with this room. Keep in mind, for this particular client, I was just coordination.
Oh, God.
They did not hire me for design and decor. They did not hire me to make any details. I took this upon myself. I have to note that because in hindsight, it was so not necessary. So it's not like they turned to me and they're like, Lindsay, you're doing the decor for us. So, like, help us figure out what to do this room. I just hated the room. And I was like, I have, like, these paint markers, which I'm sure you're familiar with. But normally you can write with these markers on a mirror, and you can take a razor blade after the paint is dried, and you can take the blade and scrape off the mirror.
Yeah.
So I asked the bride, I was like, can I write something cute on here? Like, you might see on Pinterest, you guys, like, you look cute, now go dance, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like one of those, like, silly phrases.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, sure, go for it. She was like, I don't care, whatever. So I'm, like, all excited. I'm thinking I'm, like, doing this extra thing, like, enhancing her day. And the wedding's done. And keep in mind, there was a wedding there the next day. So you might know where this is going. But I went after the wedding was done. It was amazing. This couple was fantastic. It was one of those super meant to be situations where her mom has multiple sclerosis and my mom had MS. So, like, I had this bond with her, and it was just, like, this perfect wedding. The bride and the groom were attractive. Like, everything was so good. And everyone leaves, and I'm, like, going to scrape this off, and it's not coming off. The paint's not coming off at all. So I'm very long-winded. Thanks for listening. But it was like so traumatic. So at the end of the day, I told the venue rep, I was like, I can't get this paint off. Like, I know you. And she's like,
I want to know what you used.
Girl, things I never even heard of using. I tried to get this paint off. I went to a hardware store because it's kind of like the venue's not anywhere like near stores or anything. It's kind of like in nature a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to go home because it's midnight. I'm exhausted. I had such a long day. And I was like, can I come back in the morning? Like, can I please deal with this? And it's like very abrasive staff was there because they're lovely. But like the cleaning crew, they're pretty like, gotta get out of here. Get out of here, whatever. And I was like so exhausted. I was like, can I please just come back in the morning? They're like, well, we have another wedding here tomorrow, so it has to be off by this time. I'm like, okay. So I tried cleaning spray. I then didn't work. I put acetone on it. And I'm not kidding, it starts rubbing the paint into the mirror, almost like it was absorbing it. What I found out the mirror itself was not glass. It had like an acrylic type of plastic. Like most mirrors have.
Oh my gosh!
Are like glass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are the odds? That
can't scrape that?
So like basically any chemicals that I was using was like basically giving it chemical burns and like melting the mirror.
Oh my god!
I like had a toolkit. I'm not kidding. I was dating some horrible guy at the time. I'm like crying. I'm like, can you please come help me? He sucked, so he didn't come help me. And I'm just like crying, and like the next wedding's coming in, and which is so awkward. It was like the bridesmaid or the flower girls rather, like getting ready, and I'm just like, so I unscrew it. I unscrew it from, because now it's just like this mush paint. It looked like it was graffitied and like mushed. No. So I take it off, I unscrew it, I take the whole arm, I take it to like this, I Google like glass replacement, whatever. Thank God it was only like, don't quote me, but like $200 or something. I don't know. Or maybe that was a lot. No. I thought it was going to have to be like $200-$300 to replace this mirror, but turns out I went to this shop and they just cut a piece of glass and replaced it for me, and it was like $40 something.
Oh wow!
But had I known, like the process leading up to that was so stressful because I'm like trying acetone. I did like Facebook posts like, somebody help me, like how do I get this paint off of a mirror? And they're like, just scrape it off. I'm like, yeah, like normally. They're like acetone. I have turpentine. I have like all these
rubbing alcohol. But
just at that point I had already like,
I know at that point it's too far gone.
Chemically melted it into the
oh my gosh
acrylic.
So they got a new mirror out of the deal.
They did.
And a real mirror.
What an insane
mirror. Yeah, right.
A real glass mirror that they can write on all day long. I will have to later post pictures. I'll have to go through my phone.
Did you take pictures of it?
It was so horrible. I'll text you guys later, and I'll also put it like somewhere in our chat. It was a nightmare because I had this next wedding coming in, and I didn't want to like ruin. It looked like graffiti after that. Yeah. After I mushed it and rubbed it and rubbed it and rubbed it. It's like
laughing.
I was like, this is getting worse
at the time.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I think because I was so tired and I felt like no one could help me. Everyone was like, it's like one of the situations where everyone's giving advice.
Super well then. You should have just called me. I'd been like, get some rubbing alcohol, you'll be fine.
even on acrylic, I guess. It was so horrible. Probably I want to say top 5 to be loose. Top 2 traumatic wedding experiences. Because I thought I damaged park property. Right. That was the thing. It was like damaged park property of the city of Chicago. Like that just sounds expensive.
Oh yeah.
So I was hoping you'd have a story like that, Loreen. But.
No, nothing. And again, can't remember anything that was that's terrible. But
well, I mean, you're a professional. Clearly, I am not a professional sign maker. Like another reason to just go with the pros.
Well, yeah, and at this point, you like, I tell myself, that when you're working, those paint markers and how you push down on them.
Yeah, that's what I was using.
Yeah.
Sharpie.
Perfect.
Well, Sharpie paint.
You do it enough times so you know that it could go bleh, and you never do that on your project. You do it off to the side versus on the project, because you do it once and you learn your lesson and done. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's like the tip of the day then. How about that? Always test, always test on a material, like the bottle says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Like there are even instructions on the thing. Like, test this before using on a small inconspicuous area. And I'm like, dump, 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 dump. Oh my God.
It's all been there.
Oh.
Been there. No worries.
Well, this was so fun. We could talk more. I would love to have you on again.
Yeah. I'm around.
Yes. Yay. I know. Well, thank you for everything. And I'm going to just kind of pop up your Instagram really quick. So if people are watching, they can follow you. Tell us about Rose. Can you tell me, do you mind if we go over a little bit?
No.
About how you even came up with Reenie Rose? I didn't even ask that.
Was the easiest part of starting a business, the business name. I know a lot of people have trouble with it. For me, it was the easiest part because my name is Loreen Rose. And growing up, my
just
called me
so
Reenie.
pretty.
So Reenie Rose, that's been my name. Yeah.
So easy. Okay, I'm like, we're going over. We need more time. You're like,
but it was like it worked out really well just with what I decided to do with paint flowers. I mean, that's Reenie Rose is. So it's funny when I meet people at events or they email me and they're like, "Hi, Reenie," and I always think that's a little weird, but I'm like, technically it is my name,
You're like, too soon.
I know. Yeah. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But yeah.
Do you go by Angela?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My brothers call me Ange. All my close friends usually will call me Ange or Angie. Like my parents call me Angie all the time. Yeah. But I always introduce myself as Angela, and then like sometimes people pick up on Ange, sometimes they pick up on Angie, or sometimes they just continue calling me Angela. So it kind of just depends. I leave it like up to the person because I don't care. I've gone by all three, so yeah.
If people say Lynn's too soon, I'm like, I never said you can call me that. Like, you're so comfortable. But all right. Well, thank you so much, Loreen. We're going to sign off. And then, well, have a good night. I should say that first. Stay warm.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm duct taped in with my balcony door. I put duct tape on.
Oh my God.
Because it gets a little bit like
the draft.
Oh no.
I'm duct taped.
Careful though. That could be like a fire hazard if you have to like escape.
I mean,
okay.
I saw my front door that I can go through.
Thank goodness.
But if I need to
jump,
you can't
go out your front door.
Jump off my balcony into a snowbank. I do have to duct tape my.
Oh my God. I'm worried now. Okay. Well, have a great night, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so Angela, hopefully you and I can be doing this again next week. We will be, either you, me, or both. But yeah, if you guys are watching, please join us next week. Same time on our Weddings a la Mode Facebook page. We'll post the full episode to YouTube as well. So it should be saved on our Facebook page. But if you also are a YouTube user, you can find it there. Have a wonderful night. See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Angela.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.